Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to Wheel of Wisdom. Can someone confirm? Am I audible and am I visible? Is my audio and video fine? Can you guys see me and hear me fine? Okay. Thank you so much, Kelly. Thank you for the confirmation and welcome. I am so glad to have you here. Okay, so I would love to know, like, are you guys, whoever are present, so are you guys a first timer? So are you attending my live for the first time or have you been in my previous lives before? Let me repeat it. So I'm asking, okay, I have a response. So Kelly says, I think I have been here before. Okay, wonderful. But still, since there is a sense of a doubt, so I want to clarify, as in, like, what we do in these lives and also who am I, just to give you a brief introduction. So, my name is Anisha Maheshwari, and I am a life coach, a mindfulness meditation teacher, and a psychologist. I have been on IT since 2 years now. Okay. Hi, Sue, and I'm so glad to have you back. Yeah, so I was giving my little introduction. Um, yeah, so I have like approximately 6 courses here and 30 plus tracks on Insight Timer. And I help people with low self-esteem to become their best self. So I do that by helping them gain clarity about the trajectory of their life and in setting smart goals and then creating an action plan and after the action plan comes the barriers and stuff. So, helping them overcome all those internal barriers like negative thoughts, overwhelming emotions, limiting beliefs, or, unhelpful behavior. So, I do all of that through my private coaching and like one on one coaching, as well as through my group coaching program. And another one of my offering, which I have recently started, is that I offer personalized meditation session. So the aim is to help you guys process whatever is going on in your life in real time in a meditative space. So that those are some things that I do. And I would love for you guys to check my workout if whatever I mentioned resonates with you and if I resonates with you as a person throughout this live. Okay, so having that said, how these lives work are that we have um so it has been now 8 years since I started my journey of, self-discovery and transformation. And over these 8 years, I have read approximately 80 books now. And from those 80 books, about half of the books I actually made notes from. So basically, I wrote down anything that I found insightful. I wrote down very powerful practices from the books that I have read. And what I have been doing in these lives now is that we have a wheel, and that wheel have name of some of the books. So currently I have added 31 books in there because of the 31 days of the month. So yeah, so the wheel randomly. Okay, so before that, we sit in a meditation. We open ourselves to receive whatever wisdom, that universe, divine, God, or whatever you believe in wants us to hear right now. So we settle ourselves and we open ourselves to that message. And then we rotate the wheel. the wheel randomly chooses a book, and I go through my notes from that book, and then I intuitively choose any lines from that book that I feel will benefit all of us right now, including me as well. So, and after that, we either do a practice from that book, or if I feel inspired from the lines that we have just read, then I guide through another meditation to help you not only get the message but also to work upon something. So, you get one step closer to your best self. So that's how these lives go. So, are you guys clear with it? And mostly, are you guys ready to start the meditation for today to settle ourselves and to open ourselves? So, type meditate or ready if you are up for it. I would love to see some interaction in the comment box. It is getting very lonely. So, yeah, type ready or meditation if you are ready to start with today's meditation, to settle in and to open ourselves to receive the wisdom. Okay, thank you so much, Kelly. I am glad to have responses in the comment box. Okay, so people are ready. Thank you, Kelly and Sue. Thank you, Sue. Okay, so let's start with the meditation for today. I am so very, blessed and grateful that, Achu, another Insight Timer teacher, is joining us again. And it is so fulfilling to have other teachers, be in this space. So thank you, Achu. And guys, if you feel called to, please check out his work as well on Insight Timer. Okay, so let's settle ourselves. So you can take any comfortable position. Preferably, it would be a sitting position because we are going to do something with that today. So take a comfortable seated position with your spine erect. You can roll your shoulders backwards a little bit. Sitting straight usually help us sit more comfortably for a longer time, and it also help us feel somewhat relaxed and at the same time alert. So once you have taken this position, bring your awareness to the things around you. Notice what are the objects that are around you right now. These objects are a way to come back to the present moment and reconnect with our environment. Noticing the shape of those objects, the color, and now that you are connected with the space around you, you can gently close your eyes. Or if you don't feel comfortable to close your eyes, then alternatively, you can just lower your gaze, looking 1 feet ahead of you. This is to limit visual distraction so that we can turn our awareness inwards, becoming aware of the surface beneath you. Noticing what does it feel like to sit on this surface. Feeling grounded and supported by the surface beneath you. And now that we are settled, I invite you to place one palm of your hand over another, just like you might have seen Buddha doing it in any picture or in a statue. So place one palm of your hand over another and place both of your hands in your lap, letting them rest there. You might notice that as one palm of your hand is over another, your thumbs automatically touch each other. So let the tip of your thumb touch each other and just let both of your hands rest in your lap. When the palm of our hands are like this upwards, then it is a signal or a mudra of receiving. So right now, we are increasing our receptivity of receiving the message that we need to hear right now. Notice how is the temperature of your hands, especially at the point of contact between the palm of one hand and the other portion of other hand, so the back of the other hand. Notice what does it feel like to touch your hands with each other. Do they feel smooth or do they feel a little bit rough? you feel called to, you can even move your fingers and just feel your hands rubbing the skin of your hands and noticing the texture of your skin. If your mind wanders, that's perfectly okay. Whenever you notice it wandering, gently bring your attention back to becoming mindful of your hands. Now notice how does the air feels like the air that might be touching your hands as your hands are facing upwards. Notice, is there any difference between the air touching your palm and the air touching the back or the sides of your hands? Now become aware of the weight of your hands, the weight of one hand over the other, or the weight of both of your hands in your lap. And now recall a situation that you are currently facing and that you would need some advice on from the universe or God, a topic that you need some more guidance on. So, what are you currently struggling with? And now that you have become clear on what you need more guidance on, set an intention that may you receive that wisdom in the next few moments. So you can say or repeat to yourself and believe that may I receive wisdom about this topic in the next few moments. May I be open to receive whatever I need to hear. May I be more open to the wisdom from the universe. And now that you have let out this intention, believe, believe that you will receive whatever you need right now. Believe that the guidance will come to you in the next moments. You don't have to force anything or try to get an answer. Just let those intentions be and believe that you will receive the answer or guidance as we end this meditation. That answer or guidance will come to you in different forms. So be open and receptive. For now, as we reach the end of this meditation, bring your awareness back to the surface beneath you. And now, whenever you feel ready, you can gently open your eyes and connect back with your surroundings, becoming aware of where you are in this space or your room. If you feel called to, you can just hydrate yourself or just stretch your body in whatever manner you like. And thank you for the hearts. I really appreciate them. And again, if you feel called to, I would love to hear, how was the meditation for you? And if you would like to share what you are struggling with, or maybe even an answer or guidance came to you in that short time. And if not, we are going to go and, you know, give universe or God or divine an opportunity to, send that message to you guys through me or, through through the lines that we are going to read. Hello, Eva. I am so glad to have you here. Thank you for dropping in the hi. And now we will begin a game Yeah, a fun game now after some moments of peace and, relaxation. So let me open my mobile. Okay, just a second. So now I have this wheel. Okay, I hope that you can see it, even though if you cannot read the names of, books written in there, that's okay. I'm going to read it to you. Not all, but the one that is chosen. So, yeah, so we are going to rotate this wheel and it has the names of 31 books. So now we are going to see, which book is the one that is going to give us, some reassurance, some inspiration, some guidance, whatever you need, or some love, right? So I'm going to rotate this. And as I'm going to press it and the wheel is going to rotate, so in the meantime, I invite you guys that as it is rotating, you can again, like put your hands like this, in your lap, just in a receiving posture, so that, yeah, we get to receive, you get to receive, and everyone gets to receive the message that they need right now. Okay, so I'm going to spin it now. Okay, so I'm going to read the name now because I think it is inverted. I think maybe, okay, can you guys actually tell me, is this inverted for you or can you guys read it clearly? Can someone tell me, is it clear or is it inverted? Okay, you can read it. Okay, thank you so much, Eva. I thought because to me, the screen is inverted, so I thought it might be for you guys. So thank you. Okay, so it is clear, right? But I will still read it. Thank you so much, Eva and Kelly. So, our winner, the book from which we need to hear the wisdom the name is Nothing Something. And the book is by Thich Nhat Hanh. So, my absolute favorite author, because his books introduced me to mindfulness and mindfulness changed my life. So, yeah, and I really love the title of this book, like, Is Nothing Something? It is like so, mysterious and so philosophical and so deep at the same time. Hello, Anand. Welcome, welcome. So now that we have chosen the book, now we are going to, I'm going to open my notes from this book, the notes of the insights and the notes of the practical exercises, and I'm going to intuitively scroll through it. And then let's see what is the message, what is the exact message that we all will benefit from. Okay, so let me open it. Until then, you guys can, take some deep breaths if you want to. It will just take a minute. So I have opened my notes, and now we are going to I am going to invite my intuition in so that it can choose something and the universe can send that message to all of us. So we have the message. Hmm. So the message is Everything has its own nature, the way it's supposed to be. They are doing their part. Now, another set of lines is mindfulness is energy. The energy help us enjoy what is happening right now. So, um, okay, I have a comment before I explain this, like what I got from these lines. Anand says, I have a small thing to ask. I just feel I am okay right now, but when I see somebody who has achieved extraordinary, I feel why not me? Anand, exactly. Why not you? If they can do it, then you can also, right? So instead of going into the downward spiral, as in, why, why does they get to have that and I don't get to have that? Why cannot we go into that upward mindset, you know, and getting inspired by them and, working to cultivate those quality, maybe something that they, if they have achieved a skill or something like that, then working towards that, or seeing their accomplishment as, you know, a ray of hope that this can also happen for me because they are also human and I'm also a human. And if that is the same thing that I want, like if that is the same thing that I want, because sometimes, in fact, mostly we are often confused as to what we want and we don't want that thing that we thought we want. So, yeah, so when we gain that clarity and if we are clear that yes, I want that, and then we see someone else achieve that, then isn't that a hope for us that maybe someday I can also achieve that thing in my life because they are also human like me. I am also human. They have strengths and weaknesses, and I also have some strengths and weaknesses. And if I have weaknesses in that area, then I can work upon them. So there is this thing in Buddhism. Um, I am not able to remember the exact like Pali word of it, but in English that is known as sympathetic joy. So there's a whole practice about it when we get to rejoice in the joy of others. And when we do that, I know it's easier said than done, and it feels like that. And it's very normal to have that feeling of jealousy, but we have a choice when we have that feeling of jealousy and when we show ourselves some compassion for it because jealousy might feel unpleasant. So when we show ourselves some compassion for that jealousy, that this is a difficult feeling for me right now to be going through. Once we go through that process, then we can now can process logically, like when we have tended to ourselves emotionally, then we can focus on the logical aspects, what I was talking about. And we can then understand and see, okay, what helped them achieve that, and how can I cultivate that or get that resource or something like that. When then we can work on the logics, and to even strengthen it, we can then also go to sympathetic joy, practicing sympathetic joy, feeling happy for the happiness of other person, because that will like help us become so much bigger than ourselves. So, yeah, that is my response to it. And I hope that, it was not invalidating in any sense because that was not my intention at all. And I'm sorry that, you are going through that feeling of lack or, you know, jealousy. But that I hope that you got that another mindset and you found that helpful. Okay, Anand says nice. Okay, I'm glad that, you were able to process some of it. Um, and in fact, if you are up to it, if you're willing, then I would be happy, whatever process I have mentioned, I would be happy to guide you through it. You know, you can contact me personally and we can book a session together and something like that. Because I also offer like so whatever is going on in the life of you guys, if it is something difficult and if you want someone to sit with you to guide you through it in a like a meditative and in a safe space in a meditative way, then I'm here for you. You guys can, message me. You guys can um check out how do I do that or what exactly I do in, personalized meditation sessions that I offer. And you can do that through the link in my profile. So you can check that out. And I would love to help you process all of it in a more healthier manner than in the ways that we usually process it. So, yeah, you guys are welcome to do that. And so are you, Anand. Okay, coming back to the lines. But before that, I would like to drink some water because tending to our own needs is as important as tending to everyone's needs, right? And I want to give that message by modeling it in terms of by doing that. Okay. So, the first message from that book was, so I'm going to read that line again. Every single thing has its own nature, the way it's supposed to be. They are doing their part. So, yeah, this like reminds me of a tale. You know, it is a very famous tale, like a folk tale in India. I don't know if we can call a folk tale or something, but yeah, it is a very famous story in India actually. So it is a story of a sage and what do we call it? A crab, someone that bites, right? A crab, we call it. Hmm. Yeah, so a story of a sage and a crab. So one day there were two sages, okay, two monks, and they were going like together somewhere, and you know, uh there was a river nearby. I had to like first remember it in Hindi, then I had to translate it in English. So I'm taking a little bit time here. Yeah, so a river was flowing by, okay, where they were going. And there was a crab, okay, and the crab was stuck somewhere. I don't know the exact details. I'm so sorry. I'm ruining it, but still. Okay, so the crab was somewhere stuck, or it was getting like drowned or something in the water. So what the monk did was one of the monk actually went there and it tried to pick up the crab, okay, and it tried to rescue it. But each time the sage or the monk tried to, pick up that crab and, um place it somewhere safe, the crab like used to bite on his hand because he was trying to pick it up. Okay, because it was defending it or whatever. Like so, yeah, so each time the sage did that, the crab, bit. Sage tried to pick it up, crab bit. Sage tried to pick it up, crab bit. So it kept on going. And then the other sage, the other person asked, the other monk asked that, why are you doing this? Why are you hurting yourself and seeing this? This is happening, right? So the sage replied that because it is the nature of the crab to bit, and it is my nature to, show humanness, to help. So, yeah. Okay, so I don't know if how like clearly I was able to communicate that story. But yeah, but the thing is, so the thing mentioned here is that, let me read those lines again. So every single thing has its own nature, the way it's supposed to be. So, the way I understand it and I can relate it is that in a meditative experience, for example, it is the nature of our minds to wander, and it is how it's supposed to be. Our mind is supposed to think. It is that machine installed in our this hardware, and that is supposed to think and plan and do all of this stuff, and it's its nature and it is how it's supposed to be, and it is what it is. But when we are meditating, when we're trying to control it in some manner, then we are trying it trying it to change it, trying to resist what is. We are trying to resist what is, and that is what makes the meditative experience so frustrating at times. That, I want my mind to be quiet. I want such a quiet practice and, peaceful practice, but I'm not able to get it. So, yeah, so what these two lines, the message that came through for me was that, we need to accept what is instead of trying to resist it, trying to control it in some manner. So, whatever we cannot control, because mind is something that we cannot control, so we need to accept what we cannot control. There is this serenity prayer that, not the exact words, I don't remember them, but, God give me the um God give me the serenity to, or the wisdom to, accept the things I cannot change, change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So it goes something like that. And I love those lines that, change what you can and accept what you can't. Because sometimes we try to, invest all of our energy in this, that, supposedly we don't want to feel a certain way and still we are feeling a certain way. And we are always trying to resist those unpleasant emotions, like, Anand mentioned of jealousy and everything. So, or inferiority, or, whatever the emotion is. So, we try to resist all these unpleasant feelings, and yet they are there, yet that is how it is supposed to feel. And we try to resist them and not accept them, because I think that once, like in practice, I have experienced it, but that once we accept them, then firstly, we get all of this energy free that we were using it to resist, and we can invest that energy into something that we can change about that situation. And also, when we stop resisting it, when we accept that emotion or that unpleasant thing, then we become like, that thing actually, is temporary. Everything is temporary in life, you know nothing is permanent. So and especially those emotions that comes usually in a wave, so it comes like this. It is low and then it rises, gain intensity, and then eventually it fades away. So if we just stop resisting it, then it would be able to express itself in a wave, and they will go away. So yeah, that's what came up for me, for these lines, that every single thing has its own nature, the way it's supposed to be, and they are doing their part. Let's see what other people are writing here. So Lisa says, O God and Heavenly Father, grant to us the serenity of mind to accept that which cannot be changed, courage to change the things, courage to change that which can be changed, and wisdom to know the one from the other, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Thank you so much, Lisa, for like sharing the exact lines. And yeah, I just love that. I love that. That is that is such a pure form of wisdom. So thank you, Lisa, for sharing that. Yeah, I just had it paraphrase in my mind. I just know the meaning, but not the exact words. So thank you for that. Okay, Achu writes. So he has also like written the difference. Thank you so much, Achu. So the lines that he wrote are: God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So maybe instead of moving to the next set of lines or something, because something like feels so powerful to me here. Now I invite you, since we also do the practical side of what we have learned. So now I invite you to actually reflect on the situation that you recall during the meditation, or if you have just joined, then recall or bring to mind a situation that you are currently struggling with. So you guys can either mention it in the comments, or you guys can mention it, like mention done, if you have thought about it or written it somewhere now. Okay, so take your time to recall it and to either write the situation itself or write done in the comments so I know that you have done that. And then we will move on to the next step. Anand says done. Thank you, Anand. Let's wait for some other people too, then we can move on to the next step. Again, those who have joined us just now, I have invited all of you to bring to mind a situation that you are currently struggling with, a challenge, in your life right now, and either write that situation in the comment box or, type done so I know that you have remembered or recalled that before you move on to the next step. Okay, so what Eva is struggling with is that she mentions she has experienced assault in the past relationships and is thinking about filing a report, and that's what she has asked wisdom and guidance for. Eva, I'm so sorry for to hear that, and I hope that whatever we are going to do next will help you either you know come a step closer to some or other kind of resolution. So Gina says she is struggling with, okay, so she is caregiving her ailing mom as an ONLTT. Okay, sorry, as an only child. Okay, okay. Yeah, sometimes when we try to, care for our loved ones who are suffering, it is like a twofold, you know, difficulty, as in we are, you know, we cannot see our loved ones suffering, and at the same time, we sometimes have to put our needs, our like basic needs aside to fulfill the needs of the loved ones. So the suffering can be two folds in that also. Samia says, okay, Samia, are you like a teacher here on Insight Timer? What do you do? And what are you struggling with right now? Okay. Oh, you wish, then you can actually apply to be a teacher here, It is a simple process. You can go through it, and yeah, I would, since you feel called to help, people out there. So, yeah, this is an amazing platform. And maybe you can check out the, how to register here as a teacher and stuff like that. Um Okay, so you want to ask for help as a teacher, like once you become a teacher, and then you want to ask for help instead. Okay, Okay, so should I say that you are committing to become a teacher now, and then you will come back to my lives and process whatever you were going through? Okay, Anand says, should we simply face things or what? Hmm. We are going to, we will come to that next step, Anand. Don't worry. Yeah, of course, Samya, I support you. 100% support you. And in fact, all of the teachers here actually would love, the listeners or, these people who are attending our lives to just come up and express and, share their gifts with others as a teacher as well. Because I've seen other teachers also love that. So we all support you, Samya. Okay. So let's move on to the next step now. So now that you have brought to mind the situation that you are currently struggling with, I invite you to reflect and actually write, because this time it would be easier to write and not just think. So take your time to either write it in your phone, on a piece of paper, or in the comment box. Okay, wherever you want to write, but please write. Okay. So this time I want you to write, what about the situation can you control and can you not control? So let's write first. What about the situation is not in your control right now? Okay, so let's write this part. What about the situation is not in your control right now? You are very much welcome, Samya. Okay, very good. So how long it's going to take? Of course, that is not in your control. Mm-hmm. Good, good. Other people also feel free to join in and write in the comments or separately in your phone or in in a paper. That's okay. So Anand says what is not in his control is how do we face our fears like competitive exams or the fear of losing out. Okay, so whether or not you will fail is not in your control, right? So whether you will pass or fail in that exam is not in your control, right? So the result. What else is not in your control? Um, Samia says the race is fake, especially the Indian one. It's made up. Okay, global. Sorry, I didn't get that. Mm, okay, so the race of becoming someone. Yeah, yeah, you know, we can never become someone else, isn't it? If I am, understanding it right. And we can never, most of the times we feel that I'm not good enough or I'm not worthy. Yeah, yeah, someone worthy. Yeah, so we most of the times we feel that, I am I am not happy right now. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. And if only I get that, then there would be happiness. Then everything in my life would go swimmingly and well and everything. But mm, since some of you, in fact most of you might have achieved some of those if only statements, your goals in your life, then you might have realized that that didn't made you feel, of course that had some good consequences and good stuff related to it, but it didn't made you feel that good enough, or it didn't created that lasting feeling of happiness or enoughness or worthiness and stuff like that. So yeah, it has to come from within. We need to do some inner work for that. But of course, we can, and yes, it doesn't mean that we don't have to go after those external things and all of that stuff. Those are important in the sense that, and of course, if something is important for me, then it doesn't have to be important for you. So we have to decide what matters to us most in our lives, and then decide our goals, then work towards it, and um, not attach our feeling of worthiness or enoughness with it, because that both things are separate. So let's see. Anand says, yeah, but the pressure is real. Yeah, I understand that. Yes, yes, it feels it is there, and that's why it's real. So we are not trying to, you know, deny it. We are not trying to deny any feeling, that is coming up for you, that is coming for everyone else also. We are not trying to deny that at all. But we need to process it in a healthy manner so that it can help us to take steps towards our goals and not, you know, get sucked into that feeling so that we are no longer, moving towards it. And in fact, our situation is getting worse. So, yeah. Achu says, love yourself, everything else will fall into its place. Very nice. Yeah, a nice piece of guidance and wisdom. Samia says, stop making it important then. Why are you into spirituality to escape or to surrender? Hmm. I can understand where you are coming from, Samia, but it's okay to, to feel Anand, whatever you are feeling. It's perfectly okay. Okay to feel that fear, to feel that pressure, to feel all those feelings of incapability, insecurity, and everything that you're feeling right now. It's okay. And even though they feel so overwhelming right now for you, you know, and especially because they feel so overwhelming for you, I hope that you say some kind things to yourself right now, to love yourself, to show yourself some compassion, to say those things to yourself that you would have said to someone else who might be, having all those feelings. You might have said to your best friend who might also been having those feelings. So I hope that you give yourself some compassion so that you can hold all of that suffering that you are in right now, and then you can, move forward towards the more logical steps and all of that work that you can do. That can happen later also, okay? That's okay. So, so now no more advice giving to each other here, okay? We do not want anyone else or anyone to feel invalidated. And I truly appreciate the advices or um the knowledge that you are sharing. But the thing is, you know, um when I was studying to be a therapist, the thing that I realized and we were taught again and again was that, and we all know it, that giving advices is so easy. But when we are in there, when we are in that raw feeling of suffering, and when we are in that deep hole, then we cannot actually relate to, no matter how beautiful, how accurate that advice is. And yes, that is the truth. The advice that we usually give, that is the truth, to us. And that might also be a very nice way to deal with those things, right? But sometimes, when people are suffering, they don't like or they don't need at that time the advice, but sometimes they need some validation, some space to be who they are right now, to feel what they are feeling right now. And then we can, of course, move on to coaching stuff or acting on those advices, because now their logical brain is active, because when we are suffering it usually shut down, so we cannot actually take in the advice and actually work on that. So yeah, um so that's what I wanted to share, because this is something we all do, right? We all give advices and we all share our information, we all share our wisdom with others in a hope that it will relieve some others suffering, and And we have this positive intention. We do want to help other person, but it sometimes end up having that negative effect on someone because they don't get what they need. Samia says, yeah, they need hugs and kisses, and uh, yeah, hugs is the best way I can, think of to express that we are there and still not say a word that might, you know, trigger something in them, you know, add on to their suffering and stuff like that. Okay, let's see. Poonam says, hi, I feel that we all are worthy in some way or other. Some are good spiritually, some are more physically fit. So the definition of worthiness is very subjective. Exactly, Poonam. You are so right. The definition of everything is so relative and so subjective. Success is also so relative and subjective. We think that if we get a good car, big house, expensive car, or a lot of money, then we are successful. But are we, those people who have all those things still don't feel fulfilled? So that is very subjective. Sorry, everything is subjective. That's um that's the reality of the situation. Okay. Yeah, and some nice snacks. Exactly. Yeah, snacks always help us, our favorite food, because that is also an act of kindness that we are giving ourselves, right? Okay. Now coming back from like going into the spiral and going off topic to coming back to our exercise, which was I asked you, what about your situation is not in your control? So some of you have listed that. Some of you are still to do that. So if you have done it somewhere else, please type done. Okay. If you need 1 or 2 minutes more, you can write that in the comments so I can wait before we move on to the next step. And if you are if you guys are finding this, helpful in some way, then I would really appreciate, a donation, because these donations help me do these lives, give out these free offerings and give out my time and energy and everything. And yeah, I really would appreciate token of that appreciation from you guys as well. If you feel called to, of course, no pressure. Okay. So Eva says done. Samia says, okay, nothing is under control, but I may order snacks. Okay, so that is in your control, Samia, right? To comfort yourself in this situation. So even though the situation seems like it is totally haywire, but there's always something in a situation that we can control. If it is not in the situation, if it is not a part of that situation, then then the thing that is in our control is our perspective about that situation, is how we is how we choose to process that situation and everything else. Okay. So since I feel like people are done with this step, we are going on to move on to the next step of this. So now I want you guys to write, you know, as I said, so we have written what is not in our control. So now write what is in your control. What about the situation is in your control? It can be the smallest thing, it can be a part of it, it can be anything about the situation. So, what is in your control about the situation? For example, if we take the competitive exams thing, so studying is in your control, right? If you get distracted while studying, then giving your phone to your mom or to someone else in your house is in your control. If, for example, you don't know how to start or where to start for a competitive exam, then researching about it, or asking a alumni, or sorry, a senior, is in your control. So there is always something about it in your control. So try to find that something that is in your control about the situation. Poonam says reacting to a situation can be in our control. All my effort. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So that was Poonam's response. Yeah, exactly. how we react to a situation is in our control. So, Poonam, I want you to actually think about your situation and write, if not this way, then how would you like to react to your situation? Okay. So, we are not just, you know, writing like going vague, we are going specific, very specific about our situations. Anand says, all my efforts. Exactly. Your efforts are in your control. You know what you give. Results are never in our control. And if we keep on thinking about it, are the results something that is not in our control, then we would also not be able to give 100% of our efforts, which was in our control, isn't it? So, by resisting what is not in our control, by focusing on that, we are taking away energy and focus and attention from this, what is in our control. Achu says, my response, my breath, my movement, my diet, my smile, my planning. Wonderful, Achu. Exactly. So, yeah, these are all these, and these are so powerful things that are in our control, isn't it? So, thank you for sharing that, Achu. Poonam says, putting efforts in the right direction to achieve something is also in our control. Exactly. So, our efforts are in our control, our reactions are in our control, our breath is in our control, which also help us regulate our, you know, nervous system. Our diet is in our control, as in, Samia mentioned snacks. So, yeah, so comforting ourselves, or even, and not with the unhealthy food, if that is, you know, something that matters to you. You can also comfort yourself with healthy food, or maybe a little bit of, unhealthy food also, just to use it as a reward or just to care for yourself. That's okay. And your smile, oh, a simple smile can just change our mood and change our whole system. So yeah. So other people also, I see like few of very active participants, but I want all of you to benefit from this session. So please, can you guys also add in like what is in your control about this situation, whatever situation you have chosen, whatever situation you are struggling with right now? And not give me a vague answer. I want a specific answer if you're comfortable sharing that. As you say, smile at your problems. Exactly. Exactly. Smile at your problems. And I love that, that you didn't say smile away your problems, because we are not trying to paint positive layer over the negative and trying to deny what is there, trying to resist what is there, but we are trying to approach our problem in a more compassionate, in a more healthier manner, which is smiling at our problems. Looking, there is this line, I think by Charlie Chaplin, that everything in our life from up close is a tragedy, but from a more broader perspective is a comedy. So usually, when we used to watch these cartoons also, like Tom and Jerry or something. So, maybe Tom, if you are familiar with that cartoon. So maybe Tom, if he jumps off something to catch Jerry and he lands flat on his face, then we used to laugh, right? But for him, it is painful up close if we are looking at the situation. But from a broader, wider perspective, it is a comedy, right? So yeah, thank you for sharing that. It gave me an opportunity to share, a wonderful quote by Charlie Chaplin. Anand says, how we are utilizing our time according to our priorities. Exactly. So, planning our time, prioritization is in our control, isn't it? Eva says, uh, okay, first I will drink some water. My throat is paining a little bit. Then I will read. Eva says, getting information and decide if I want to file a report or not. Giving myself love and keep on processing what has happened. Ask for help. Exactly, Eva. I am so glad that you gained, that clarity as to what can be our next steps. Because when we look at our problems, it feels so overwhelming. But when we try to break it down and see what is in our control, we see some clear steps ahead of us. And if we don't know about the whole process, then our first step is to gain knowledge about it. So you are wonderful, and you are so very courageous to, fight through, that exact serenity prayer that was mentioned, that give me the courage to change what I can change, because that takes a lot of courage to, act on what we actually can control, to try to change something. So yeah, that takes a lot of courage. And I wish a lot of courage, a lot of love, and a lot of peace your way. Okay. Anand says, when I try to smile at my issues, God laughs at me at my worst. I need to get some life. Oh, Anand. Okay, um, so maybe you also laugh with God. Laugh a little. Just, and I'm not saying get a life or something, but yeah, if you are imagining God laughing at you when you are smiling, then laugh with God. Maybe it will help you feel somewhat good. Okay, so I hope that by now, you have gained some clarity as to what you can control and what exactly can you do about it. Um, and still, if you find yourself getting still, okay, Anand says bye. Okay, it seems like so God and you need to go now. Okay, that's okay. I am glad that you tuned in and you became a part of this space. Um, where was I? What was I saying? Yeah. Okay, so even though we have this clarity right now, and especially now we have this clarity, so what I invite you to do is that, let me first summarize what we have done. So first we have we try to find the situation that we are struggling with, so what we are currently struggling with. Okay, then we focused on what part of it is not in our control, because we need to know that from what I need to stop focusing on, what I need to stop putting my energy and attention on, what I need to stop wasting my time on, right? The situation, what is not in our control about that situation. So now we have gained some clarity about that. And next, we have also gained clarity as to what about the situation is in our control. What part of it can I work on? What part of it can I change about it to make my life even 1% better? Because, of course, it would be better than now, right? At least. So, what part of it that I can work upon? And now we know that we need to put our attention, time, energy on this part and not this part. So now, whenever you try to, our mind is habitual, it goes into that what we cannot control. Okay, and it is going to obsess about it after this live also. So, firstly, whenever it does, I want all of you to remind yourself of this, of what we can control and what we cannot control thing. So, you can either look at the things that you have listed in your control and not in your control. Okay. So once you have listed them, you can like write it on a piece of paper so you can take it with you. Okay. Um, because you are going to forget, you're going to again obsess, you're again going to waste your energy over it, because it is the nature of our mind, right? So at that point, you need to remind yourself, you need to see the card and see, okay, this is something that is not in my control, so I'm not going to focus on it. You need to choose about it. So, or else, if you don't want to note everything down, you can at that moment ask yourself, is this something in my control or is this something that is not in my control? Okay. So Of course, we can do a lot more about this. In fact, I have like a whole course about this. So, the course is A Therapist Guide to Dealing with Life Difficult Situations. Okay, so you can go through that course, and I have a whole exercise, including this, what we have done today, and also including a lot more about lot more of the other steps because it will make the life more like even more longer and something. So I have already made it. You can go through it. You can take your time to process it, to write it somewhere, to have it with you. Okay. So yeah, I hope that you found what we did today, helpful. And it all came from that serenity prayer, which came through that through those two lines that I read from the book Is Nothing Something by Thich Nhat Hanh. Okay, so that is something that we did, and if it was at all helpful to you, then I would really appreciate a donation because these are like donation based lives, and those donation help me put in more energy into these free offerings and put in more time and efforts and everything. So I would really appreciate that. And coming to, yeah, so we have what we have done is we have covered the insight or the wisdom. We have also covered the you know task and everything, like we have done activity. And if you guys joined late at any point and you missed all of that, or if you would like a summary of what we have done today, and the key highlights or the task or the process that I helped you through or guided you through, then you guys can join my free community. You can message me, free community or something, and I can give you, like, I can guide you there, or you can also access it through the link in my profile. Okay. um Thank you so much, Bodil. Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you so much for the donation, Bodil. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. And I am so touched that, some part of it was really helpful for you. So thank you so much for your donation. It makes me really feel valuable. Thank you. I appreciate it. Eva says it is so powerful to shift to what we can control and through that completely change our perspective to make us empowered to do something instead of getting lost in the things we can't control. Exactly. Thank you so much, Eva, for being here and for saying that. And I really appreciate, your comments and your hearts and everything. Um, yeah, Achu says, true, Eva. Where focus goes, energy flows. Exactly. Where attention goes, energy flows. Exactly. So we need to put our attention in the right places, right? And that's what the guidance or the exercise was for. And if you would like to work with me further, you guys, I offer private coaching. I have like three packages, so whatever suits your need. And I also offer a group coaching program, and all of it to become your best self. So I help you gain clarity on what exactly do you want in our life, in your life, because sometimes you're not clear upon that, and we keep on working and working based on what society has told us. Then I also help you, set very smart goals to achieve that. And then after setting the goals, we make an action plan together. And after making that action plan, when you start working on it, you will face barriers, internal barriers, which is very common. So I help you through those internal barriers, like your negative thoughts, your overwhelming emotions, your you know, um okay, I have a message. A message distracted me. Yeah, okay, Kara. Hi, Kara. Kara says, what is the name of the Thich Nhat Hanh's book? Okay, so that book name is Nothing Something. Also, Kara, you are welcome to join my free community. So I will like mention the name of the book. I will also post a whole recording of this. And there are also previous recording of mine there, and I also post a summary and everything of that. So you can message me or you can check it out through the link in my profile. And what I was saying, yeah. So after we make the action plan and we face the internal barriers. So in my group coaching program or in the private sessions that we do, after that we try to face those internal barriers. We try to learn how, like, how exactly to deal with them instead of trying to change, control, or you resist and do all of those things. We learn how to be, accept, and um, develop a whole different kind of a relationship with ourselves, befriending ourselves and all of that. Yeah, so that's what I do. And recently, I have also started offering personalized meditation sessions to help you process whatever is going on in your life. So we sit there, and in 30 minutes, I listen to you initially, whatever is going on or what you want to cultivate. And then on the spot, I create a meditation for you to guide you through it, to help you process it and everything. So, and you get to carry that meditation with you so you can listen to it. So that is downloadable as well. So these are all of the things that I currently have and I'm offering, and I would love you guys to please check like the link in my profile or to message me if you are interested in any of my offering, and I would love to be a part of your journey. I would be honored to. Okay, so I have a lot of message and I love messages. Okay, let's see. Bodil says, sounds like a very powerful and transforming practice you offer. I am so glad that you relate to it. And Bodil, I would love to have you in either my private, sessions or my group coaching program. And I would love to guide you through all of that, you know, from deciding what matters to you and to becoming your best self and overcoming everything and achieving that. I would love to guide you through it. Okay. And I would love to guide everyone, because I think that everyone deserves to have a beautiful relationship with themselves and to achieve whatever they want to achieve in their lives and to just become their best self, the best version of themselves. Achu has mentioned the book. Thank you so much, Achu. It seems like, I'm really grateful to have you in every single session, like in most of the sessions of mine. And it is an honor to have another teacher from Inside Timer here. And as well as thank you for assisting, kind of assisting, kind of being there and mentioning the name of the books or the quotes and everything. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, please guys do check out his offering as well. He has some wonderful affirmations and I love his work as well. Eva says, so true, Achu. Um, which also connects back to the comment about why not me. By changing the perspective to what can I do? Exactly, what can I do about this? Sometimes you're like, why me? Why is this happening to me? And that's okay. So those are thoughts that most people have. But to move ahead, we need to ask, what can I do about it? Samia says, yeah, I want that personal one. Okay, Samia. Yeah, exactly. You can message me. You can check out you can directly book through the link in my bio and everything, or you can message me. I would love to get to know you and everything. And I also offer like a free discovery call to see like if we are a right fit or not. So yeah, you guys are welcome to just book that as well, and we guys can hop in on a call and see what can I do for you, what you are struggling with and everything. So, yeah, Samia, Bodil, and everyone else who was interested in my offerings, I would be honored to be your guide. Eva says, easier said than done, of course. Okay, to the previous comments. Okay, yeah, it is. Okay, so to her previous comment, she said that, asking ourselves, what can I do? Yeah, it is, it is difficult sometimes to do it on our own. And that's the time I think, sometimes initially when I was trying to learn therapy and stuff, I was like, I would do it on my own. But we like most of the times we do need other person to guide, because sometimes, we cannot see, we are so deep in it, and not also deep in it, we have a limited perspective. So sometimes a guide, a coach, a counselor, a therapist, those people can help us give the perspective, give a more 360-degree perspective of our situation. Then we can see, because we can only see this much because we are in it, right? Okay. Samia says, yeah, I'm happy about this side of the planet. Yeah, I am so happy about it as well. Achu says, we all are worthy of all the goodness and support in life. Thank you, Achu, for sharing that beautiful piece of affirmation, I must say, with all of us. Bodil says, thank you, Anisha. I need to take step towards change. And Bodil, I am here to support you 100%. I will be there for you in your journey and I will try my best to guide you, towards the result that you want. So, yeah, so don't forget to message me or check book, you know, a call with me through the link in my bio in my profile. Okay. Thank you so much for listening to me, for being here, for contributing either in the comments, either in the form of donations, either in the form of these likes. And I invite you to check out my work and check out my offerings through the link in my profile, or also be there in the next live that is going to be on 14th. So I do these on alternative days. So I would love to have you guys again with me in another live. Okay. So that's it for today's live. Thank you so much for being here. And now I will end this live. Bye bye. Love you all. Namaste. Thank you, Poonam, for being here. Eva says, have a lovely rest of your day, everyone. Thank you all. Thank you, Eva. Thank you so much for being here.